Here we go.
Welcome to Off the Cut.
Dude, I haven't touched any wood in a long time.
I want to put my face in that grass.
Or you're trying to make eye contact with a person.
Maybe you're looking at it from the wrong angle.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm glad we got the explicit out of the way early.
Oh, Evie.
Hell yeah.
That double pop is the sound of you tuning into Off the Cut episode 153.
We haven't had a good double pop in a while. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that was good. For Tuesday, February 25th, 2025. And today, the podcast is sponsored by Polar Premium Seltzer.
Nice.
I wish it was.
Yeah, right.
Boobly. The European.
You know, one of my favorite places to purchase seltzer waters from is?
Where's that?
kmtools.com.
Oh, if he started selling, imagine
exclusively.
Yeah, it just completely changed. No, but you know, a lot of these online stores, you buy something and you'll get a little bonus pack-in item.
Oh, yeah.
There's a speaker parts company I used to always order parts from them, and you'd get a little thing of Twizzlers with every order.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think Jonathan should.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was gonna say you can have some then. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Get some bubblies that are infused with like oak or maple
Ooh.
or cherry or something.
True,
Or like
that's a good idea.
Like a whiskey smoker kit that has like little wood chips in it.
There you go.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
That's legitimately a good idea that you should try and sell them on.
Yeah.
It's like a little rasp or something, maybe even to shave off a little.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, here's the thing though, Zach. It could only be in his store if it's also in his shop.
That's true. That is very true.
But if it was something Jonathan made, it would be for woodworkers by woodworkers.
Technically, yes. Yes, because everything in his store is either made by him and his team, or it's something that they actually use in their workshops.
Yes. And what would be really neat is to, like, say you're buying seltzer water, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not only would your seltzer water purchase go directly towards is supporting the Cats Moses Woodworkers with Disabilities Fund, but so would all the tools that you're buying from kmtools.com.
That would also technically be correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So imagine like you're getting the new tools, like maybe the bourbon blade or the jig square or the new miter slot runners. Any of those new tools. You can also pick up some seltzer water too. Huh.
Not bad business idea. Just spitballing. Jonathan, are you listening?
Yeah.
You listening right now? Give us a call. We got ideas. Let's set up a meeting.
I got even a better idea. So all that sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
But what if we could convince him every single month to give away a $50 gift card to KM Tools to all of our patrons?
That'd be awesome.
You know what, Eric? We actually did already convince him to do that.
Oh.
I know you probably forgot because this was a meeting we had with him like 2 years ago.
Yeah. So how do I get this gift card? What do I do?
All you got to do is become a member of our Patreon community, where you get access to the bonus show, the Discord server, the BYOC calls, and you're also automatically entered to win a $50 gift card once a month at KM Tools.
Huh. So you're telling me I just go to patreon.com/offthecutpodcast?
That's right.
Huh? All right.
And you know what else?
Think about it.
Well, we're on the subject of Patreon. We rejigged our tiers a little bit. So if you've been on the fence about becoming a member and you looked and you're like, there's no option that suits me, maybe go have another look.
Cleaned it up.
Simplified.
Made it easier. Because, and this is one of the things we're going to be talking about in the after show. We hinted at that I had a phone call with an ex-Patreon executive and got some really interesting data and insights about the Patreon platform as a whole.
Okay.
And if you're somebody who dabbles with Patreon, maybe you're a creator and haven't had much luck with it.
Yeah.
I think you might be interested in some of the stuff that we're going to share. But that's for the bonus show. And everybody on Patreon will get access to that after the main show.
Oh, yeah. That's a good tease. And by the way, for all our existing patrons, don't worry. You don't have to touch anything. All the old tiers are still there. We're just going to do a thing where it's called sunsetting them. So basically, you can just set it and forget it if you want to.
Right. And if you want to change it for whatever reason, that's cool. Whatever.
Yeah. That as well.
No worries. Oh, while we're on administrative thing, next week, March. These throw me off. March 4th. I don't know how many days are in February. Tuesday.
Yeah, leap year.
Yeah. We are going to be having our next BYOC. We're bringing the camera. It's our live hangout chat that we do with all of our top tier patrons. Everybody turns their camera. You don't have to turn your camera on. It's basically a video
no, you do.
chat.
It's required.
Okay.
It's called BYOC for a reason.
Yeah. It's a video chat where we all get together, hang out, and talk about whatever's on your mind. We might talk about project ideas, things people are struggling with, just funny questions, life, love, the pursuit of happiness.
The age-old questions.
Yeah. But we're going to be doing that next week, Tuesday, March 4th. So if you want to get access to that, just head over to patreon.com/softcutpodcast. And if you don't want any of that and you just want to listen to the show, well, good news for you. It's about to start.
That's right. You know what I was thinking about when we cracked into our bubblies at the start of the show? It'd be really funny to just shotgun one of these immediately.
Yeah. But see, the thing is, bubbly, they've got a high, what I like to call crispiness factor. Or like
it would hurt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be blowing out some speakers in a few minutes.
Yeah.
I think so. I basically dummied this first one. I'm already almost done this.
What flavor you got over there? Is that a bubbly?
This is a bubbly peach.
Oh,
I like peach. I
mess
like
with peaches, man.
Yeah. I'm good with basically any flavor. I'm what you call bubbly rich right now because I found out that you can order bubbly for it's cheaper to order it off Amazon than it is to order it off get it at the grocery store.
Okay.
So now I just order like 48, 60 bubblies at a time and they get delivered to my front door. It's perfect.
Now, are you able to get
if you do autofulfill, they'll give you even more of a discount.
That's true. You get like the 5% discount or whatever. I've not brought myself to do that. I for whatever reason I'm like allergic to subscription services. So I can't bring myself to sign up for any of those. Although I recognize that like for something like bubbly, I probably should do it.
So here's my I wouldn't consider this wait, they're only $3 for an 8-pack on Amazon?
See?
That's a steal.
I know.
I like how sometimes it's an 8-pack and sometimes it's a 12-pack. Why is that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Bugs me.
I've never seen the 8-pack in Canada. It's only 12s here.
Huh. Well, anyway. Yeah. My secret that I don't think is too much of a secret when it comes to subscription services, like auto-fulfill stuff, is I'm the person that, just like you, Zach, I hate subscriptions with a passion, right? So I'll go online and like I'm getting like pet food, getting stuff for the cat, right? It's just like, hey, if you sign up for auto ship, we'll take like 10% off. I'm like, you bet I'm signing up for it. And then as soon as I sign up, I go and click it to the thing that's like, oh, ship it to me in 6 months or whatever, right?
Okay.
And then as soon as it ships, I cancel that son of a bitch.
Okay. I've never gone that far because the discount's never really worth the squeeze. I always assume that canceling it is going to be a 5 to 10 minute affair. And if I'm just saving like 35 cents on cat food.
No, but like if you're buying cat food online, like I usually buy like, a bunch of the cans and then like a 40-pound thing of wet food. So I'm spending like $100.
Okay,
so like this auto ship thing might save me like 10 or $15. And then all I do is I just go online and go to like subscriptions, cancel, done.
Yeah.
You know what it saves you?
That's worth it.
Especially whenever you throw the litter in there, it saves you from having to carry it around the store and then bring it home.
Do the same thing. I get my litter, I get my cat food all on Amazon. Some poor schmuck has to schlep it right to my front door.
The only store that I will darken the doors of these days is the food store. I don't go
Yeah.
to any other store.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't trust anyone else to pick up my stuff.
Occasionally I will grace Best Buy with my presence, only if there's something that I want like right away. And say you need like a memory card for your camera or something like that because you're going to film that day.
Yeah.
Then maybe I'll go to Best Buy. But yeah, it's pretty dang rare. Almost everything happens online these days.
We actually went to Best Buy when we got our TV several months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, a Best Buy now versus like when we were in high school, completely different.
They're kind
different
of sad.
beast. Different beast.
They
sell
empty.
Empty? Yeah. Oh, there's more people working there than there is shopping there at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I remember going. So it was funny. My university was directly next door to Best Buy, so I would always go to Best Buy and just like look at stuff if I had 30 minutes to kill between classes, and it was always packed. It was like right in a big shopping area, and it would always be full. Now, anytime I go into one, it's a ghost town.
Well, not only are there not a lot of people there, but also like you don't have a lot of like racks or like product displays. Like those are significantly less there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like new retail theory or whatever. It's to look high end, you have less stuff. Like, have you ever seen like a Louis Vuitton store or something like that?
Yeah.
They'll have big, huge spaces, and then they'll have like 3 purses on the wall.
Yeah,
Apple Store,
and it's like that's luxury. Apple Store is the same thing, right?
That's a good point.
It's all empty space, all empty negative space. It's luxury.
I do like that from like an aesthetic standpoint too, and like as an employee who worked retail in college, like, oh my god, man, you would have like these little itty bitty things, and you'd have to do like count inventory and stuff like that. It was a nightmare. And it always looked like hell because no one's going to be able to keep all of that organized and clean.
What's the deal? Why do retail stores need to do inventory? Is it strictly to make sure people aren't stealing?
Oh, no, people are stealing.
Right. So it's to keep track of the stealing?
Yes.
Okay.
It's basically we would have to do inventory like every like 3 months or something like that. And we would have... So I worked at Finish Line, the shoe store.
Okay.
Our percentage of theft was like between 1% and 5%.
Okay. So if you sold 100, if you sold 100 pairs of shoes, maybe 5 pairs were stolen. Is that what you mean? Okay.
Yes.
That's stealing a pair of shoes is not necessarily the easiest thing.
Oh, sure it is. You just
they're big, bulky.
No, you just grab the box and walk out.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays, nobody will follow behind you. Like,
no.
Yeah, that's like a rule. Yeah.
But also like, I mean, okay, I was like 19, 20 when I was working at this place. Like,
yeah.
Do you really think I gave a damn if somebody was going to just rob that place blind? Like, it's not worth my life.
No, you're not really... it's not like you're going to make any less money on your paycheck.
Yeah.
Right.
They're not going to hold it against you.
Yeah, and I don't want somebody to pull a gun on me. Like, nah, man, go ahead. You're good.
Yeah, because I've always heard of people doing inventory at retail jobs. So it's like, well, I'm sure some computer scans it when it comes in. And then at the cash register, when somebody buys something, you scan it on the way out. So really the only area you'd be looking like, at least for shoes anyways, would be for theft, I guess, right? Is there any other way you could lose? Like, is there any other reason you need to do it?
Yeah. So what would happen is basically, we would have shipments come in, right? And here's the retail experience for you. On a manifest, it might say, you get 5 of this shoe, 4 of this shoe, 20 of this shoe, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
When we would inbound all the shoes, we would actually have to scan every single one. So then it would go against our inventory. So even when we receive all the shoes, we still might be 3 pairs short right there.
Okay. So you're also like error checking against the shipping hub or whatever. Okay, that makes sense.
So what you're basically doing on these inventory times is you're just making note of everything that isn't present, and you're like resetting your system back to zero, if that makes sense.
Okay, gotcha. How often do they do that?
Like every 3 months.
Okay. Clearly, I've never worked retail.
No, it was brutal. Deric, you work retail?
Yeah, I worked for Target for
that's right.
all of high school, and we had theft all the time. I mean, this is late 90s, 97 through 99, or 98 through 2000, something like that. And I remember a big thing was people would go and get a comforter and open up the comforter and then stuff CDs and movies in between in the folds, and then zip it up, and then they would buy the comforter, which whenever you put it over the scanner, it deactivated all that stuff, and then they would leave with it.
Oh, wow.
And so there were several times where our security, who were in plain clothes, would come up behind me and be like, hey, there's this person coming, they're going to buy a comforter, they look like this, go ahead and check them out, don't bother going through it or anything like that, and then let them walk. And as soon as they walked through, he'd be standing in the line behind them, and then he'd get them and haul them off to the back where they'd take care of it and all that stuff. But
they break their shins.
Rough them up.
Yeah.
How dare you steal from Mr. Target? Bam.
Oh, man.
That was back in the day, I guess, when they used to actually prosecute shoplifting. Because these days, I feel like every retailer is just like, nah, let them steal, no big deal.
Yeah, does that not happen anymore?
I don't think as much.
No, I think they found out what was happening in the back room, and they put the kibosh on that.
I think a lot of them figured out better ways of preventing it to begin with, and then all this, because if you notice, all the stuff that's out there that you could just pocket pretty easily, isn't worth anything, or worth your time doing. And so, if you did steal a candy bar or something like that, they're not gonna. It's not worth their time to come after you for it,
right?
Unless you're doing it all the time or something like that, and then they might get on you.
Okay, now that we're on this topic, it annoys me to no end when you go to a retail store and you want to buy something and you have to find a person to unlock a cage to get it for you. I know it makes the process so much worse. You're like, well, can't I just pick up this thing off a shelf and take it to the cashier and pay for it? It's like, nope. Yep. You got to find somebody. And despite the fact that now every retail store is completely deserted, there's more people working there than shopping there, somehow you still can't find anybody to open up the cage and get the tool or whatever it is you want to buy.
It's because you're paid hourly.
Yeah. My friend used to work for this big Canadian. It's called Canadian Tire, but they sell basically all sorts of automotive stuff and home stuff too. And he worked there when we were in university, and he said he would spend his entire shift trying to avoid customers.
Oh yeah.
That was his goal,
100%.
was not to interact with a single customer.
Got stuff to do. Time for that.
When I started at the shoe store, it was commission based, right?
Right.
And then they switched it over to hourly. You better believe when they switched it over to hourly, I couldn't be found on the sales floor.
Yeah.
I was in the back organizing boxes. I'd take the trash out. I'd sweep in the back room. Anything to avoid customers, because I hate people.
Yeah.
The general public, I hate. I should say, I don't hate people. I just
strangers.
I hate stupid people.
Yeah, I generally like people, but I don't like interacting with people, especially people I don't know. So strangers.
Okay, yeah. I think that's a better way to phrase it. You're the person, if you go to the grocery store, you like me, that you put your headphones in so you don't have to have these awkward interactions.
100%. I'm sneaking around behind people. I'm moving lightning quick with my head down, looking at the floor, going right to the thing I need, and then get out.
Not even here. Let me ask you guys this.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know the answer. You're at the grocery store. You have a medium amount of groceries. Are you going to the self-scan that's going to take longer? Or are you going to the line that's going to potentially be faster, but you're going to have to interact with the bagger and the checkout person?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, that's tough.
See, I don't have that option. All of the self-checkouts around me are now limited to 10 items or less.
Oh,
so if you have more than 10, you can't go self-checkout.
Says who?
The little teenager there guarding it.
Oh, they
See,
have a
they'll-
team. They have
yeah,
a little guard.
they've got somebody that'll like monitor it all, and if you come up with like a shopping cart, they'll typically turn you away.
Interesting. See, I will usually go to the self-checkout thing because I like to speed run it. I like to think that
Yeah.
I can actually do it quicker than
You
the
can.
person who's paid to do it professionally.
I
Of course,
know I
I'm
can
wrong.
check it out quicker, and I can bag it better.
I love having the ones that give you your own gun, because the one where you have to like there's like a piece of plexiglass and then
Old
there's a
school.
scanner underneath it, and you have to like
Bang it against
hover
it.
the thing over it in order to get it to scan. That's horrible. But if you get your own gun, I am lightning quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or have you noticed at Home Depot, they have the guns at Home Depot, but
Yeah.
every time you take that son of a bitch off the thing, it has to like recycle the power. And
Yep.
I'm just like,
Oh, interesting.
go! It drives you nuts.
I have not had that experience at the Canadian Home Depot, so maybe I
Yeah.
wonder if they have a different system.
It's the same thing down here. That's why as soon as I
Yeah.
walk up, I grab that thing and I just start clicking that button as I'm grabbing my
As you're
stuff.
getting ready.
Yeah.
See, that's a professional move. You know there's a little bit of lag, so you like alter your
Yeah.
routine in order to shave a
Yeah.
few seconds off your checkout time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what it takes to be a pro. That's
You know
I'm
what
not the
drives
reason you're
me-
going to wait 5 extra minutes in the line.
No,
Yeah.
no. Well, especially like at the grocery stores, at least here, they'll have like, I don't know, 10, 20 like checkout lines,
Yeah.
and they will have one
Yeah.
that's open.
Dude, yeah, this drives me nuts every time I'm at the grocery store on like a really busy day.
Yeah.
There are so many. There'll be like 12 cash registers and only 2 people actually working,
Yeah.
or 1 person working.
And it's backing up like crazy into the aisles and stuff like that. It's probably because they just can't get anybody to work.
Yeah, maybe.
maybe.
I don't know.
While we're on the subject of checking out, another thing that I hate about checking out at various places is it's a very inefficient system to have 5 registers and 5 lines. What you should have is 1 line
Yes.
feeding into the 5 registers.
yeah.
That is the most efficient way to do it, because then the like random variations, because everybody does that math when there's 5 registers, 5 lines. You're sizing up everybody's cart. You're like, who looks like they're going to chat with the cashier? Who's all business? You're going to get in and out as quick as possible. That all disappears if you have a single line.
Yeah.
and
Self-checkout
multiple
does
cashiers.
Because
So
self-checkout,
self-checkout does
is
that.
one line.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
100%.
But and then if you go to the right grocery store, they got somebody standing there that will direct traffic and they'll move you to the shorter
Yeah.
lines typically.
Why don't they just have that person check people out?
That's
True. That might be more efficient. Do you ever find yourself behind somebody at the self-checkout getting aggravated with how slow they are at scanning their items?
Oh. Well, the worst is like if you go to Home Depot or whatever and you pick up like a couple bolts, you can't
Mhm.
enter in like
oh yeah.
a 13 of them.
Yeah, you got to get the person who works there to come over, scan their special card, and then punch in a little code.
You
Yeah.
know, the last time I had to buy bolts was a few weeks ago. Actually, they had a barcode on them this time. Like
Did they
along,
really?
it was like a hex one, and it had like a tiny barcode on one side of the hex that I was able to scan.
Wow. R.I.P. to the
Interesting.
poor guy in the back room who has to put little barcodes on every single one.
Yeah.
I think it's part of the manufacturing process.
Oh,
I
is it?
hope
Okay.
so.
All right.
Yeah.
I'd
Hopefully
hope
it's done by machine.
Oh, that just drives me nuts. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what's happening this week? I think
Workbench?
Workbench. How are you guys?
Yeah.
So, final decision. Are you guys all not going or what?
Yeah, I'm
Definitely.
outie.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you
I got
guys
too much stuff
feel
to
about
film.
A little FOMO,
Yeah.
A little bit. I give it
but
like a 2
mainly
out of
from
10
like
FOMO.
the social aspect of it. And then
Yes.
Yeah.
there were a couple classes that they were offering that I thought sounded interesting. Like there was one on business, like doing your taxes and stuff like that for small business. It was like a small
that's
business 101 type of class. I thought would be
Yeah.
kind of interesting to attend.
So,
And then there was a couple others. I can't remember what the others were, but there was definitely a couple of them that I was like, I'm gonna check those out, but not all of them. I don't know what it's
Right.
gonna be for
Yeah.
the whole time.
yeah, I'm zero FOMO when it comes to the classes, although that does sound pretty cool, Deric. So maybe, 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, the social stuff, it's just gonna miss seeing my buddies.
Yeah. I think if it weren't for me going to that festival event like a couple weeks ago, I'd
Yeah.
definitely be like, oh man, I haven't seen some of these people in so long. So like I feel like I'm very fortunate in the fact that I was able to do that a couple of weeks ago and kind of get that little spike, that little hit of like seeing a bunch of people, and I'm like, that'll be all right. It'll be fine.
Mhm. I got a text from Clayton the other day, and he said,
Yeah, he
"Dude,
texted
what
me
ti-"
this morning.
He's like, dude, what time are you flying into Workbench? I was like, buddy, I'm not going. I'm sorry. I should have
Yeah.
told you sooner.
I know.
Yeah.
But he was like, he lives in Atlanta, so he was like, yeah,
He's
you
close.
know, if it weren't for me living in Atlanta, I don't think I would be going. But
Yeah.
I'd
It's
be
tough, man.
curious.
It's a big ask, and every year we all bemoan how much it costs and how out of the way it is, and all these things. So, yeah,
I
but
still think it'll be an awesome time. I think people have a great time. It's just, I decided for me, I'm not going this year. I don't
Yeah.
have any big political statement about it. It's just like, nah, I'm not going to go this year.
Yeah, fair.
I was on the
I-
fence for most of the year for sure.
Yeah.
The one thing I've heard rumors, and nobody run away
Grain of
with
salt.
this or anything, but I've heard rumors that this might be the last one they're gonna do.
I feel like everybody said that the past few years. Like the first year I went, I think it was in 2002 or 2003. And then every year it was, this is probably going to be last year. Oh, this is probably going to be last year.
Okay.
Not as long as
That's
people
good.
pay for it.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, okay, let me ask you this: what would get both of you guys excited for Workbench 2026? Is there something they could do differently to really fire you back up?
It would have to be a large scale change. And what I mean by that is I would want to go and have the classes be taught by people who are truly masters in that segment.
Yes.
Sure.
Right? So like, let's get people like, okay, Steve Ramsey, like he dominates like the email marketing thing.
He's supposed to have a class this year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Have that
On
class.
email?
Yeah.
You know?
No, I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I think it is on email.
Is it?
Have like Jake Hatz talk about product.
Yeah.
Have Malecki talk about like merch, or like have all these things
Building
of
a
people that
brand.
are truly masters in what they do, and have people outside of the woodworking community.
Yeah. Like YouTube
speakers,
people and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And pay them so that they want to be there.
Yeah.
Because truly,
That's
if Zach, we've thought about having a class before,
Mhm.
and the first thing we said was, well, I mean, if they're not going to pay us, like, how much effort are we really willing to put into this?
Yes.
And that sucks. That truly sucks for everybody attending.
Yeah. I mean, you guys raise a good point. I never really thought about it like that, but I wonder how. I mean, every year I just hear that they're not making any money. Maybe that's a song and dance they do.
Yeah.
To I don't. Yeah, like it might just not be economically viable in order to pay all the speakers. But I guess you could pare down on the number of speakers, which I think everybody would be fine with.
If they could get their online stuff together, they could offer all this stuff virtually as well, and offer maybe a reduced ticket for people that just want to get it virtually. And I think they would sell a lot more.
Yeah, true.
And so like each class segment or whatever have like 1 or 2 options each block.
Yeah. Because I think it was like 4 each time, or last year each block, and it was you couldn't catch every class. There was just impossible.
And I think they should have, and people are like, hey, they do have these, but like not really. They need to have segments where they have somebody teach a class of like, here is how to use hand tools. Here is how you sharpen. Now come up. Let me show you, literally coach you how to sharpen, like hands-on stuff like that.
Yeah, like the bandsaw and the classes they were offering last year, I didn't know about until we were already there, and half of them were already done. And I was like,
Yeah.
Well,
I probably would have gone to one of those.
it's also a weird split too, in that it's kind of a double event. Like half of it's practical woodworking
Yeah.
stuff, and then half of it's like how to make content and how to run a business on social media. And it's like obviously we're all woodworking or making content creators. So I don't know. It almost needs to be like a little bit more focused, I think.
Yeah. It's pick which one you want to do.
Yeah, pick a lane and then drive at it, because it's kind of it creates this weird division where you're like, well, should I go see John Malecki's talk on like how to run merch, or should I learn how to use a bandsaw? It's like, yeah.
It's like both are equally valuable, but what are you going there for, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's why
And
a lot of people
what's
really enjoyed the Texas woodworking thing, because it's more of like it's just woodworking.
Just woodworking, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I think whenever JCats talked was the only time it really got close. Or even whenever Ethan talked, it got into the online stuff a little bit more. And JCats just a little bit, but yeah, everybody was focused on, the actual woodworking aspect of it all.
Yeah.
Oh, at the Texas woodworking one?
Yeah.
Right. And so, like, what was the turnout to something like that? Like, because Workbench Con is, what do you guys think?
5 to 750, something like that, maybe.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like, number of people at Workbench Con.
Yeah. That's what
You
I'm saying.
think
Like
500?
I think
Yeah, I think so. You think that's too high, too low?
Yeah, it seems high, but I believe you.
Yeah.
So,
Or
how
maybe
many
that's
people do you
tickets
think
they
were at
sold.
Texas woodworking?
I don't think there were as many people at Texas Woodworking, or if there were, it was people that were not going the whole time and hanging out, and they weren't going back-to-back days. It was like, because I think they were also selling like a $35 ticket where you could just like come in whenever for like one day. And so I think there was a lot of people that would just come in one day and walk that main floor and then leave
Gotcha.
and spend maybe a couple hours there. And there weren't as many people that were coming and hitting it back-to-back days. And really, it's a one-day event, and then the rest of the time is more about like socialization and maybe some of the classes if you wanted to do those.
That makes
Gotcha.
sense. Well, John from Biscuitry said the workbench was 300 to 500. That's what I was imagining, like 300-ish.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not the guy who guesses M&Ms in the jar, though. I could be wrong.
I've heard numbers 300, 400, and 500, so that sounds about right to me. It could be somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or in the last 15 to 20 years, have expos, gatherings, trade shows, just as a whole, just kind of started to vanish and wash up a little bit?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the opposite way.
You think it's the opposite way?
But I mean, I never really went to anything until more recently. I never really heard of much until recently. But at the same time, growing up, all I ever heard of in my little world was like the Comic-Con, like the big Comic-Con events.
And those are
now,
still big.
Yeah, now everywhere you look, every city has their own version of a Comic-Con, and they have Comic-Con officials at multiple cities now. And so looking at it from that perspective, to me, it seems like there's more of them. But then again, within the woodworking space, there may be less of them within like the home improvement space, DIY and all that. I can see how it definitely feels like there's less of them.
Do you think it's almost like a monopoly, and like the ones that do well spread out and multiply, and those ones kind of eat up the smaller?
Yeah,
ones?
maybe.
Probably, yeah.
Because something that I'm like, Miranda and I really, in our free time, really enjoy going to like concerts and stuff like that. One of the things that we've noticed is like the music festival scene has died.
Yeah.
Other than a couple big ones, like
What
all
is
these
it?
little like one-off things are just, they died
I
because
feel
of
like-
COVID. I mean, and
Well, that's what I
right
was going to
before
say.
COVID, too.
I think COVID killed quite a few of them, and maybe it's because there's, it takes a little bit of momentum to start them back up.
Yeah, because a lot of them, like financial. We had a friend. Well, not she's still alive. She's still working there. We have a friend who is one of like the financial executives for a company called Promo West Productions, which is like basically the Columbus, Ohio company that runs all of the concert venues here.
Okay.
And she said, she's like, the way these things work is it's basically a revolving debt. So they put on an event in 2025. They spend millions of dollars.
Right.
And they basically carry all of that debt until the next year that they have the festival. And then the next year, the 2026 festival pays off the 2025 debt. So as soon as one of these festival seasons doesn't happen, you're done.
Interesting.
Like,
I mean,
it's
it
not a
makes sense.
sustainable practice, basically.
Yeah. Well, but how do you pay for that first year?
Right.
Otherwise, right? Like, because you have to, if you want to run a music festival or festival of any type, you have to book acts. You got to, getting that initial capital's got to come from somewhere.
I got like two thoughts on this. And one of them is, I think there's too many hands in the cookie jar. Like, there's too many people between you and that event that are getting a little cut of that ticket. And then within that event, there's a bunch of people that are getting cuts of what's going on. I mean, you think about just like Texas Wood or the Workbench Con here, you got like that hotel. They're getting a little bit of it, or probably a good amount of it, especially because like they discount those rooms almost more than half the regular price.
Right.
And then like, the event planners and everybody involved there, they got all their swag bags and stuff like that, which are probably, I don't think they're paying for, but at the same time they're probably not being paid for as well, if that makes sense. It's a type of thing. So I think that there's just too many hands in the cookie jar coming forth. And then I think prices of tickets have gone insane over like the last 20-30 years for anything. I was seeing where Tony Hawk was showing off a ticket that he had still because his son just married Kurt Cobain's daughter from Nirvana. And he was showing a stub that he had from going to a Nirvana concert in like 91, and it was $10.
Right.
Yeah. It was crazy cheap. And I was thinking about that. I was like, oh yeah, I remember back in like 97, 98, I got tickets to the WWF coming to town. It was like Monday Night Raw or something like that. And they were like $30 a piece. They weren't crazy. Now you look at them and they're like hundreds of dollars a piece for tickets to go to anything now. It's just insane.
Yeah.
Go to a hockey
lot of
game.
that goes to like the people that are like Ticketmaster and stuff like that that aren't putting on the event. They're just facilitating that transaction.
Doesn't Ticketmaster take like 30% for just basically hosting the tickets?
Yeah,
I'm sure it's something ridiculous like that. Yeah.
It's nuts. I was gonna get tickets to like the stadium series, where they play ice hockey outside every.
Oh yeah,
winter.
yeah.
They're doing one here at the Ohio State Stadium, so it's like 110,000 people. I was like, that's pretty cool, right? I should go. $300 for a ticket.
Oh.
Yeah, don't even look at like professional sporting events. Those are just astronomical. Like
went to
lease a car.
I went to see the Raptors versus Miami Heat on this week for Sophie's birthday. It was an expensive night out for the two of us.
Oh yeah, yeah. It drives me nuts. I mean, all in all, it's like too many hands in the cookie jar. I think that's what's happening to these events. Like, and this sucks, and I know not everybody can get, not everybody can go, but like when brands have these little like small get-togethers, like the festival thing was awesome. There was like 40, 50 people there, so you got to like chat with everybody, but also that can't be a multi-day thing. It's like, it is what it is. But I don't know the solution.
I wonder what something like that, what Festool did, how much does that cost them to put on?
I don't know.
Not much. How do you so we got a kind of a question up here that I'm going to reshape a little bit for my own edification as well. How did you get into those? Like, how did you get to work your way to getting the invite from Festool to start going to these type of events and stuff?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. So, I mean, it first starts out with, you build a relationship with this brand. The people that run the accounts or whatever, and then they might be like, hey, we have this promotion, we're gonna launching a new sander or whatever. We'd love, to send one out for you. And then like, here's our budget for a promotional post. Would you be willing to do that? And you're like, yeah. So you kind of work with them. And then you're kind of like on their roster of people that they let know when new products come out. Yeah. And then it'll be like, hey, we're going to have this event for the people that we've been working with for a while. It's going to be all about the new products that are coming out. Would you like to come out? Is kind of how it works. Like,
yeah,
they're inviting you. Like, Zach, you did something with the whiskey company, right?
A
year or two ago.
Yeah, that one was a little different in that it was like one of these PR companies.
Yeah.
I think I had maybe worked with a PR company, or actually it might have even been like Vic or Dom from Stump Shop and Inspired Living, who maybe recommended me to that PR company.
Okay.
I mean, I think the very first stepping stone is like making that contact on Instagram or via email and kind of getting on that. Like, you start getting the press releases, you start getting like tool samples and stuff like that. That's like tier 1. And then maybe tier 2 or 3 is you start getting invited to these events.
Yeah. But I'm assuming you have to have somewhat of an established presence on whatever platform already. Like, somebody with like 100 followers isn't going to really get much, notice, right?
You'd be surprised.
You'd be surprised. There were people at the festival event that had significantly smaller following than you would think.
Interesting.
So maybe 1,000 or 2 or under that.
So honestly, I think like the workbench events and stuff like that, and you meet these people in person, you kind of reinforce those relationships you've started building, I'm assuming.
100%.
Yeah.
I think there's probably a very informal meeting where they sit down and they're like, who should we invite to this event? And they just start jotting names down. And I doubt, like size of following is ever, like they don't just go and be like, do you have 10,000 followers or more? Okay, invite them. It's more like, have we contacted this person before? Have we exchanged emails? Are they top of mind? So
are they talking about us in their posts?
Right. Exactly. So start building, if you want to go, start building that relationship.
I know that's what happened with the first festival event that they put together. That's how there was like a committee that basically got together and came up with the names of folks that they wanted to invite.
Interesting.
Outside of the people that were like on their roster, if you will. Right. But yeah, I mean, that's the best thing you can do is just find brands and just stay in communication with them. It's a long game. Yeah. There will be ones that like brands reach out to you. You reach out to brands that you get like a one-off thing, but those aren't the sustainable ones, and those aren't the ones that are going to come back to you time after time after time again.
So I should not reply to the vodka company or the jewelry company that keep reaching out.
Oh, did you guys get the tequila one?
Yeah.
No.
The like Miss something tequila.
It was like somebody else like sending it too. It wasn't even from the actual.
Oh, brand, I know.
Which always seems so shady.
Yeah, it is very shady.
MSP on Instagram? Tequila.
Yeah.
Did you get that one today?
We got it for the podcast, and I got it for myself as well.
That's very funny.
I think they like hit anybody that had like woodworking or something.
Yeah, it comes from this Sierra Baron. Want a free bottle of tequila? MSP Tequila is at all the biggest parties and events. Cardi B, Nav, Little Baby have all been seen drinking it. Message this thing and DM us. Yes, we'll confirm you. No.
What's funny is the one that we got for the podcast and the one that I got personally and the one you got are all different people with like no followers, no posts.
Yeah.
Recent accounts. Yeah.
No, even like, like name or whatever. Yeah, I got this one. Want to grow with 100% real followers for free? Message this thing. And it's like, dude, you have 0 followers, 0 posts. Why would I?
Right? What do you know about growing an account?
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think what that is like that's the top of the funnel to somebody's course or whatever, right?
I don't know. Or now I want to go down the funnel. Yeah.
Scam the scammer, see how far you can go.
Scam the scammer. Yeah. I mean, all you got to do is respond anything to that, and I'm sure you'll get hounded with dozens of replies.
Do you guys ever do the thing where you sign up for like spam mail and send it to your friends' houses?
No. No, but that is delightfully evil.
Free
I like it.
magazines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe Columbia House Records.
Oh, Columbia House would be brutal to do to somebody.
Is that still going?
I doubt
It
it.
can't. I doubt it.
Yeah, how could it?
Who
I
buys
gotta look it
CDs?
up.
Well,
Oh my
maybe for
God.
like Blu-rays though.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
ColumbiaHouse.com. Get first 2 DVDs for only $9.95 each.
What? Damn.
This
$10.
this
Price has
doesn't
gone
look
up. When I was a
right.
kid, it was just a penny.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. This looks sketchy. Like somebody basically bought.
I mean,
the
Columbia House
URL.
itself was very sketchy to begin with.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
true.
Upcoming releases. There are no upcoming releases and only 3 editors' picks. Yeah, this is absolutely not a real website.
Yeah.
Because if you go to contact us and there's no address,
True.
and they want you
Also,
to
it
pay
looks
for
like this
PayPal.
website looks like it was made in 2006.
Yeah. And it says Edgeline Ventures LLC.
Somebody maybe
Interesting.
bought the brand.
Yeah, I bet.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too. That would be nuts though. Like, but you gotta sign your buddies up for like weird magazines and stuff like that, like Babies Monthly or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll have to remember that one next time I'm looking to prank a buddy of mine.
You ever seen like you can buy like the fake spam mail? Like if one of your friends is like very, very in support of like one political candidate, you can buy like spam mail for the other political candidate. That's like, thank you so
Oh, yeah.
much for your huge donation and stuff like that.
Really?
Oh,
No,
yeah, it's
I
pretty
didn't
funny.
know that.
It's
That's also very funny.
I had a buddy that whenever he worked at Home Depot while we worked at Target, and he got a hold of our friend's keys while we were hanging out with him at Home Depot, and he copied his house key, but like made it just off so it wouldn't work, like
Oh,
and made like several copies of it. And then like put them like rearranged all his keys and put those in with his like normal keys. So then whenever he went home and tried to unlock his door, he couldn't get.
He had
That's
like
figure out which
40
key it was.
keys on there.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's pretty funny.
I love the prank where people like go into your house or when they're like watching your house while you're gone, and they go and change out every single photo and all the frames. That's a good prank.
that is a good one.
There was somebody I was watching recently on YouTube. I can't remember the guy's name, and he went through and he photoshopped like family photos, like one at a time,
Mhm.
and started putting Batman in each family photo, and just put him like a little bigger and a little bigger until like his family finally noticed. It was pretty funny.
I hide stuff around my parents' house in plain sight.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
They probably
They,
don't notice though.
They had no idea.
We went to
Mhm.
my mom's house. My mom's out in California, and she's got like a big property out there. And it was her wedding, and she was getting married, and a bunch of people were over. And we stopped by Target to get some stuff like toiletries and stuff like that on the way in. And we found this little garden gnome with like a gold hat,
Yes.
and we hid it in her garden, and like would take pictures of it with us, like hanging out at her house, and like we'd pull it out and like set it at the table and take a picture of it with us, and like all these different things, and kind of like hid those or mix those in with like the photos for the wedding. So like every once in a while, there's like a gnome in there with us.
And she
That's
never
awesome.
saw it.
Well, she saw it eventually, and then she eventually found it within her garden. Like then we hid it somewhere on her property, and we're like, go find it. Like it's
I
a
gotta
treasure hunt.
do this. I've got this. I think it was from Mandy's bachelorette party. There was like this. What's the little thing? You spin the little thing, the little wind up things that like jump or whatever.
Top.
No, it's like a little plastic toy. You like spin the little thing like, and then you let it go and it goes, like jumps around
Sure.
the table. Like those.
I
little
know
stupid
exactly
Oh,
what
toys
you
like
you
mean.
get.
little
I don't know
like
what it's
rabbits
called.
or like chickens
Yeah,
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a miniature male genitalia one
Nice.
that you got from the bachelorette party, and I'm
Nice.
definitely, when I go over to my parents' house this weekend, I'm absolutely gonna hide that somewhere in plain sight. like on top of a bookcase, like a real like tall bookcase or something like that.
So you gotta put it somewhere like this shoulder height, and then be like, "Hey, mom, we need to photo together. We haven't done a photo in a while." And then, like have it be like between the two of y'all.
That would be good.
So it's forever etched.
I do love a good prank. I need to prank people more.
What's the last good prank you've gotten? I think the last good one I've gotten was the festival giveaway for you.
Yeah, that was a very good one.
Oh, yeah.
So for people who don't know what happened, this is probably 3 years ago.
It was early days of the podcast. I think it was like episode 10 or something like that.
Yeah. For April Fools, I put out this post. I said that Zach was doing this big festival giveaway, giving like a drill, an impact driver, a domino, and a track saw away. All that you had to do was follow him and then send him a DM that said peanut butter.
Yep.
And you were getting
comments,
thousands of them, weren't you?
Oh God, my inbox. If you probably couldn't scroll, but I don't know how it works, but I could just endlessly scroll my inbox. Just endlessly. Like I could sit there all day just doing this. I would not hit the bottom. It was crazy how well it worked.
Yeah.
I think joke's on you though, because he's gone like significantly higher since then.
What,
on your subscribers count and everything.
Yeah. But this was on Instagram.
On Instagram.
Was it just Instagram? Oh.
Yeah. No.
But you're right. In some ways, I think I ended up getting like 200 or 300 followers from it. So
hey, someone's got to do it.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Wasn't bad. But I don't know. Have you guys done any good pranks recently?
No, but you just reminded me that April Fool's is like a month
away.
It's coming. Yeah.
Gotta start planning.
Gotta be on the lookout. Watching over my shoulder now.
Yeah. I feel like the tool brands always do some ridiculous stuff. Like,
really? They want to make it obvious so that people don't get like confused.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. It would be a power move to confuse people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like limited edition something is done on April 1st. So only the people who like legitimately went to your website and downloaded it, and bought this item or whatever could get it.
True. I honestly thought the Festool exoskeleton thing was an April Fool's prank when I first saw it.
I still think it is.
Well, that was on them for releasing it in April. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
New stuff comes out at the end of March.
Maybe Jonathan will do something fun for KM Tools.
I hope so.
Yeah, seltzer water.
Yeah.
That's flavored seltzer water.
Well, in the last few minutes before we get to the end of this bad boy, anything new, noteworthy, exciting that's happened within the last week or so? Just been hunkering down, busy.
Just hunkering down, busy. I got to actually work on some projects for the past couple of days, so I was pretty happy about that. I've been cranking out like sponsored content for Instagram.
Yeah.
For the last 2 weeks or so now, and it was nice to actually just do something that I wanted to do.
Yeah. No, I totally feel you.
Yeah.
The laundry room is officially 100% done.
Ooh.
Dear God, it couldn't be out. It looks sweet. It looks awesome. Got like the shelves in, the center, all the cabinets, face frames, all the painting, all the touch-up painting, everything is done.
How many hours of footage do you think you've generated so far?
All. And let me open up Final Cut. Laundry room cabinets. It says 8 hours and 16 minutes.
Well, that's not bad.
It's a good amount of footage.
Yeah, I'm pretty good though at like pressing record, doing a couple seconds, pressing record again, stopping it. Like, most of my clips are like 15 seconds.
Is any of that like a 2-hour time lapse that you need to fast forward?
One of them is.
Okay.
One of them was like a 45-minute time lapse of us just putting the tile up.
Sure.
Right.
Okay.
Because that's kind of satisfying when you can see it go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally.
And like, for God's sakes, how much time can I really spend on like talking about doing the tile work without it being a tutorial?
And then I put a tile, and then I put a spacer, and then I put a tile, and then I put a spacer.
And then you wouldn't believe what I did next. I put another tile in. And then you think it's gonna be a spacer? It is. It's like, oh my god, yeah.
How much of like the obvious stuff like that did you just skip over? Like not even mention? Or even really show?
Well, the problem with this one is, and this is I get kind of what we'll get into the after show, is I filmed a lot more on this because I'm actually going to like take big chunks of the footage out of this video and use it for the courses that I'm working on.
Yeah.
So I over filmed the daylights out of this project so that I have tons of B-roll for the courses that I'm going to be working on. And I would say probably 60% of this stuff will not show up in the YouTube video.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like how, like, oh, I ripped down some maple, cut its size, threw a little dado in the bottom. Boom, I got a drawer. Like,
and I know you had also talked about maybe getting multiple videos out of this.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't know. We'll see. I still haven't decided.
Yeah, I mean, look, the project's done. You got the footage. Now you get to just do whatever makes the most sense for you.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, you end up just not using it, and you just filmed a little too much. Like, whatever.
Yeah, we've all been there.
It doesn't matter. But I think we head over to Patreon, head over to the bonus show, and talk about the phone call that I had. Well, the series of phone calls I had with the ex-Patreon executive and kind of the learnings that we learned about over there.
Okay.
And
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. And some other stuff that we got to get to, I'm sure. But we're going to head over there. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. We'll catch you next week. But make sure you head over to patreon.com/offcutpodcast to unlock that bonus show and see if any of our newly revamped tiers are right for you. And if they're not, that's cool.
That's right.
Just like before, we still understand.
Yeah, that's right. Be a diamond dog or a little dog.
Yeah, little dog or the diamond dog. Raw dog. No condiments.
No condiments.
See you next week. I want to give a huge shout out to our returning top tier patrons: Corey Duvall at Woodcrafts and Honey, Josh at Sawdust Bills, Joe Welsh at Delaware Valley Workshop, Goblin Spanker.
You can't say that anymore.
And Dadu's debit card did work.
Bingo bango, you're done.
Zach, to be honest with you, I don't even know if I followed you.